What's up, my home seller clients? In this video, I want to talk to you about dual agency. That means when one real estate agent represents both the buyer and the seller. What's the good, the bad, and the ugly, and what you don't know that will cost you a fortune, possibly, if you don't understand it. Stick around. So, dual agency. Well, let me back up a little bit. So the way we do our home selling process, or one of the methods that we use, which is our 1, 2, 3 sold method, where we sell a home in 3 days on the market. We have massive amounts of people show up at the open houses, and we get them all to compete against each other. So any real buyer is probably going to have an agent they're working with. A real buyer, someone who's seen a lot of properties. They've been making offers on properties, their loans in order. They walk into your house, it's the perfect home. They're going to fight against the other buyers. They're going to pay you maximum market value for it. They're going to be a great buyer. They're going to stick with the transaction. They're going to be awesome. And they will almost always have their own realtor. Because when they get to that point, they've already got a relationship with somebody. They had to get into a lot of houses, and the only way to access them is with a realtor who has access through their lockbox and all that coded stuff that we use. So it's unlikely you're going to have a real buyer out there without a real estate agent. Now, I know a lot of realtors tell their home seller people that when they're interviewing for the job of selling a home, that they sell a lot of homes, double in them, or dual agency, where they represent both the buyer and the seller. They bring their own buyer to the house and they sell it. And maybe they'll even give the seller a discount if they happen to represent both the seller and the buyer. Maybe they can even find somebody before you even put the house on the market, right? They'll have their own buyers come over and take a look at the house, and maybe they can save you some money. Watch out for that one. It's going to cost you big time. Because our process will make sure all the buyers come over and see the property and have a chance to compete against each other for it, right? And that's how you get maximum market value, by letting all the buyers come over and see the property. And so it's really rare that I'm going to have somebody who doesn't have a realtor. And if a realtor is telling you they have always lots of buyers and they're selling the homes and their own buyers, they're probably not offering it out to everybody in the world, and you need everybody in the world who might be interested in a property like yours to have a chance to come over and see it and compete for it. So generally, if a realtor is telling you that they do a lot of, dual agency, which means they sell the house to their own buyers, that's a huge red flag. I would be very concerned about that, because real buyers, the best buyers, the ones who pay the most money and give you terms you want and are great to work with, typically have their own real estate agent. So something fishy about that. And happens all the time. So generally, when you have a realtor representing both seller and buyer, it's just going to cost you money, because you're not getting the best buyer at the highest price and all this kind of stuff. Even if you're knocking it down, a percentage or something like that, then you're still probably going to lose money and have a crummy buyer, and much higher chance of it falling out of escrow or lots of renegotiation afterwards. So generally, it's not a great thing as far as I'm concerned. That's my own personal opinion. Maybe some other realtors will have a different opinion, but I understand how buyers work, and I just don't see it. Now, there are some benefits. Okay, so let's say we do our process or put the house on the market, and for whatever reason, one of our buyers purchases the property, right? Or someone who doesn't have an agent. It does happen sometimes. I mean, it happens. It's rare, but it happens. And in that case, as long as all the buyers have had a chance to see the property, make an offer on it, compete against each other, so and they know that there's other buyers, and they know they've gone as far as they possibly can. You see all their offers, and you see exactly what they're offering in terms of the price and the terms and the loan they have and the money down and all this kind of stuff. Then, and the chance to negotiate with them to get everything all signed off. Then, that's good. So you got a great buyer. You're still getting maximum market value, and a great buyer who's going to stay with that transaction all the way to the end. You won't fall out of escrow, most likely, and it should be great, right? Now, the benefit of that, if that actually happens that way, then all your information and all your correspondence is immediate, right? So normally, if I have my home seller client, that's you, right? And then we have a home buyer working with another realtor, and they have their own loan officer. So it takes me a while to get the information. If I'm trying to find out where their loan's at or something, then I'll call the realtor, and they'll call the loan officer, and then maybe they won't get back to me. Or maybe if something happens where the buyer is not committed to the transaction anymore, or they found another house, or they're having a marital problems, and suddenly everything's blowing up, and then all the phones go silent, and I don't hear anything back for a couple of days until they finally tell me it all fell apart or whatever, then I don't have that information. I don't have that direct link, right? So it might take a couple of days, and it always sort of lags. Now, if I'm working with you, the home seller, and the home buyer, you've got a direct link. I know what's going on all the time. So I'm right there up in that home buyer's business and with the loan officer and all that stuff, and I know what's going on in their marriage. If they got some issue, I'm gonna know about it pretty quickly, and if it's gonna fall apart, I'm gonna know about it immediately. I'm gonna put the house right back on the market, assuming you still want to sell it, and then we're gonna be not losing any marketing time. Really, I mean, a lot less for sure. So that's the benefit of having, and it's more work, of course, because we're dealing with two groups of people and coordinating them, but it's can be much smoother. So there you go. As long as you present the house properly and it's prepared and all the buyers have a chance to come over and make an offer on it and compete against each other, then great. Then that's okay. But if that's not the case, it's going to cost you money and probably time and probably a lost escrow eventually. So there you go. Now you know the secret of the good, the bad, and the ugly about dual agency. If you have any questions about that, give me a call. If you're ready to sell your home in Fullerton, Brea, Placentia, or Belinda, Anaheim Hills, wherever you're at, give us a call, and we'll see you at your house.